Believe, and you're here in the office of the Always Believe House. Oh, and today we're going to graph systems of linear inequalities. So we will not graph one line, we will graph two lines, and then we'll figure out what part needs to be shaded. Ho, 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 ho. And a magical whiteboard appears, and we are going to start rocking and rolling on your homework. Remember, same thing from yesterday. If you have this symbol, it is less than. And if it's y less than, you shade down. If you have this symbol, it is greater than. And if you have y greater than, you shade up. So we got to figure out if we shade up or down. We're going to graph two lines, make them solid or dashed lines, and then you're going to shade up or down. Another thing we need to remember, if it's less than or greater than, the line will be dashed. If it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, the line will be solid. Ho, 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 ho. So let's get rocking and rolling. I'm only going to do a few of these for you. So let's do number one together, okay? Number one's pretty simple because we have our slope and our y-intercept. It's kind of tricky when you got to solve for y. Okay, so on number one, we're going to graph the y-intercept, which is, or let's just write down m equals negative 1/3, and our b is equal to 2. So we're going to graph that line. The y-intercept's at 2. Then this line goes down 1, right 3. So down 1, right 3, draw a dot. I can't do it again. I'll go off the graph. Go up 1, left 3, draw a dot. And then it is going to be a dashed line. So I'm going to draw a dashed line. And I'm not going to shade it yet. So you want to draw both lines, and then you're going to shade after you draw both lines. Let's do our next line, and I'm going to pick a different color. Let's do green because it stands out. M equals 4/3 and B equals negative 3. So this line goes to the y-intercept at negative 3, which is here. Then it goes up 4, right 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right 3. And this will be a dashed line also. Now then, what's important to remember, when you draw these two lines, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Anytime you cut a cake 2 times, you get 4 pieces. Got it? One of those 4 spots will be double shaded. One of those 4 spots will get the double shade and the equation will work. So let's look at our red line. This means to shade up, right? How do you get greater on the y-axis? You shade up. So I'm going to draw real small arrows going up on the red line. That means spot 1 or spot 2 is going to work in it. Spot 3 and spot 4 won't because they're below that red line. Spot 1 and spot 2 are above it. Now then, on the green line, if I shade down, it will be spot 1. If I shade up, it will be spot 2. So let's look at the green line. And I have this. That means to shade down, doesn't it? So on my green line, I'm going to shade down, aren't I? So spot 1 is going to be shaded up on the red line, but down on the blue line, that's going to be the point you work. If you have a highlighter, you would highlight it. If you don't have a highlighter, then your answer is going to look something like this. It's going to be shaded like that, okay? So you would shade spot 1. That's where any ordered pair in that spot will make both of the inequalities true, okay? Notice spot 3 has none of them. So any ordered pair in spot 3, both of them would be false. Any ordered pair in spot 3 would make both inequalities false. Let's go down. I'm going to do 2 more of these for you. Turn the page and let's do number 8. Okay? Number 8, they're not solved for y, are they? So we're going to solve these for y. So on this one right here, I'm just going to move the x over. So I'll have y greater than or equal to negative x minus 2. So that won't be that hard. On this one, though, I'm going to write down the whole thing. We're going to move the x over, negative 3y greater than or equal to negative x minus 6. Then I have to divide by negative 3. And what happens when you divide by negative 3? You got to flip, don't you? So that greater than is going to turn into a less than. So we'll have y less than or equal to 1/3x plus 2. So this here and this here are my 2 equations. So let's graph the first equation. My slope is negative 1. My y-intercept's negative 2. The y-intercept's your starting number, so start it off with the y-intercept. Then my slope's negative 1. I'm just basically going to go down 1, right 1, aren't I? So I'm going to get all these dots. Every dot down one, right one in it. This line would be solid because it has the equal bar. So I'm going to draw a solid line. If it's dashed, just make every dot a dash, and that takes care of it. On this line, I'm going to graph it in green. Okay, my y-intercept is 2, and my slope is 1 over 3. So I'm going to cross at 2, and then I'm going to go up 1, right 3, and then down 1, left 3, and it is also going to be a solid line in it. Okay, now then identify your 4 parts. Here's part 1, here's part 2, here's part 3, and here's part 4, right? One of those 4 spots is going to get the double shade, depending on how we go up or down here. Now then, let's figure out which way to go. So this line, we have y greater than. So my red line will be shaded up, right? Just draw little arrows going up. That means spot 2 and 3 could work, right? Spot 1 and 4 are eliminated because I'm shading up on that red line. Now then on the green line, if I shade down, it will be spot 3. If I shade up, it will be spot 2 for the answer. On this one right here, that means down, doesn't it? Because I have y less than. Notice the inequality flipped because the y was negative. So on this line here, I'm going to shade down. So I'm going down, 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 down. Notice that spot 1 does not have any part of the up or down, does it? So any ordered pair in spot 1 would be false. The correct answer, and I have the highlighter, so I'm going to do it this way, would be this area here, would it? So that would be our answer. Okay? So any ordered pair in part 3 would make both of the inequalities true. Part 2, the red equation would be true, and in part 4, the green equation would be true. Okay? So this is how you get these answers. Should be able to finish the rest on your own. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. These aren't hard. Just graph the line, shade up or down, piece of cake. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.